Love's Deconstruction, number 3. The Love Life of Patience. Letting patience have its perfect work is about more than faith in trials. It is about the length of our willingness to love without caving in to the lack of love we receive in response to ours being shown. Love is first patient and kind, which means it's never impatient and unkind, testy, irritable, mean-spirited, reactionary, ungiving, refuses serving, sets limits till it's loved back in return. It says, I'll only love you up to a certain point, wait on you for a while, and then it's your turn to repay me. This is equalization and refers more to tallying and scorekeeping or justice. Justice is law, but the law of love demands giving freely in hopes of response, not a demanding of return on our giving to make things equal. Love working by faith lavishes undeservedly without a prenuptial agreement, guaranteeing personal gratification and even compliance to our need for love assured. Love is patient like true faith is because it believes strongly that love never fails, always wins, and will eventually win the day. No matter how selfish the lovee might be, it is the God kind of love that loves many, and mainly because it can't help but love, because of its very nature, and is thus not dependent on the other's response. It simply must love, because selfishness or drawing back from love can never be accepted as an option. Love is patient and kind because the alternatives are obviously not love. The very idea of withdrawing proactive caring and service is seen and perceived as a non-option, a going against the nature of love itself, which chooses from the heart to not set limits on how much or how long love will continue. It expects everything of itself because of this standard of excellence it has chosen, and a little, if anything, of others, thus arriving at a resolve to love that becomes irrevocable and unconditional, not depending on the conditions to be favorable and leaning towards its personal success in loving. That loving itself, because it is simply the best way to live and be, becomes the reason itself for loving. It depends on no outside response or sense of achieving to sustain its enduring quality. It becomes a mission to qualify that loving itself is strong enough in itself to justify continuance of action and serving. It is then that love arrives at perfection of itself, having pressed past all expectation from outside sources to confirm its power and validity, completely devoid of the fear of loss or lack. Patience in love. Patience is love that has made up its mind to love. Kindness is love that has determined it will be kind. Love must become a state of being, a state desired for so strongly in itself that it becomes an end in itself rather than the means to an end. Not that it doesn't have an end, for it never fails and always wins, but the winning and not losing becomes subservient to being loving. The ends never justify the means, but instead the means mean everything. It is the having of this heart to love that becomes the end of all. This is the achievement, not the winning of some war against selfishness or casting out of fear of lack and losing.